This is Ziggy Antonaja here, 4 seconds out. Pleasure to be joined over Zoom this morning with Nathan Heaney. Nathan, nice to be with you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate. Just yeah, dropped the kids off at school this morning, then just sat down for a few interviews. So now I'm looking forward to everything coming up over the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Big fight day looming for yourself. Magnificent Seven in January in Manchester. Talk to me about how we're feeling Jerome Warburton as the man standing in front of you.
Yeah, really, really good. Like yeah, it's an interesting opponent. Like I've never really had much needle with an opponent in the past. Maybe Jack Flatley in the rematch, possibly a little bit. But this one, yeah, it's made it really interesting. I'm looking forward to it, and the event's massive as well, so that's even better.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. It was a tasty press conference. I mean, for yourself, you're a bit more of a relaxed character. Jerome was sticking it on you. How did you react in that moment when he was sort of coming for you and your fans?
Well, yeah, if you saw the press conference, like you'd have seen how I reacted. I was quite calm, but it's made him look a bit stupid at times. But that's what you need to do. Just be chill out. It's pointless fighting then because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, is it almost out of character for him? Like it's a bit needless to sell the fight when there's no animosity between you two. Like it's not personal.
No, I don't think it is to sell the fight. I don't think that was why. I mean, whether that's had any benefit, I'm not too sure, but I think it's more for their own psychological state. Obviously, they want to see certain things,
Mm.
and that's it. So yeah, I don't think it was to sell a fight at all. But it was. I did actually quite enjoy it. I don't normally engage in things like that, but it is quite enjoyable actually.
Mm. When it comes to getting in the ring, what does he pose that is anything you have to think about? Obviously, lost to Kieran Conway on a matchroom bill. Like, what does Jerome do that you need to be thinking about?
Obviously, Southpaw, so that's the first stop that can be quite awkward for certain fighters. But I've always quite liked fighting Southpaw. So, but then next, he has got a short stature. Although he's not as short as I thought he was. He's got a short stature can make for a tricky target, and he's got a good work rate as well. So those three things could play together to be quite tricky.
Mm. You mentioned in the presser it's the final year of your career. I mean, just thinking about that, how do you feel that knowing this is the sort of final roll of the dice to get that fight in Stoke and obviously just finish on a bang?
Yeah, it's one of them. Just giving while I'm still in the best condition I've ever been in. Like make the most of it before you start declining. Because once that decline happens, there's no coming back. So yeah, I'm gonna completely enjoy this year, and that's it. Like I say, this next one, there's gonna be thousands in the Colt Live Arena, thousands of Stokies, and I just need to. And obviously, I'm joining the new platform as well on the zone, so I can't wait for Delilah to be shown and heard and see how it all goes on. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that the Stokies there, the fan base. I mean, some of the tickets you've sold in some of your fights is absolutely incredible. Like, how does when you're standing on that ramp and you're singing the vocals, like, how does that make you feel? Can you take me into in your mind there?
Yeah, it's weird. I wish I could enjoy it and absorb it a little bit more. I mean, I'm obviously conducting everything. I'm part of it, but you are also still thinking about your opponent the whole time. So yeah, yeah. Sometimes you almost wish you could be a spectator because you
Mm.
can't take in completely. But it is the most incredible feeling. Like when I'm at Stoke and you see like a player on the touchline coming on there for the sub, and you hear them singing the name, you think, I think so. That must be amazing. I'm like.
Mm.
But that happens. That happens to me when I'm at fights. Like they're all. It's like the most. It's so separate to what I do. Like in terms of how I am as a person and like boxing, they're like two separate things. And like I don't think about it too much. But if I did, the career's gone really bloody well. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like yourself, like Johnny Fisher, for example, that are almost sort of, your average guy, but they seem to resonate with the fans that bit more. Is that, I guess, the thing that attracts the people to you to want to come and watch you?
I haven't got a clue, mate. Like I mean, Johnny Fisher's a completely different ballgame because obviously he's got his dad that's almost a celebrity in himself, and he comes across as a really nice lad, which obviously helps. But it's one of them like it's but I don't eat chicken balls and stuff. So I mean, so like I don't know if I'm that relatable to be fair, but I haven't got a clue. Like people just they're very loyal for my city, and I say for my city, people from all over the country that support me every single fight. They're just very loyal people, and obviously they just really enjoy backing me, which they backed me all the way. So yeah.
I watched a video on your Instagram you put up. It was a video of you as a kid with your dad in the garage, and I guess looking back on that now the journey's sort of coming to its final chapters, and you spoke about how you wanted to do it for him and make him proud throughout. How do you look back on that, and that you see that video of you as a kid in the garage, and you sort of you're almost there, you've almost completed the journey.
Yeah, it's to be fair, mate, I think the journey was almost completed when I won that British title because I was thinking, bloody hell, from what I achieved as an amateur, which was nothing, to then becoming the one of the best in Britain and then being ranked number 4 in the world with the WBO. I'm like, bloody hell, it's already been completed, do you know what I mean? But yeah, but it's gutting that my dad never got to see that. So like obviously he was there when I'm like what 7 years old in the garage with a big mushroom haircut and just and then fast forward however many years, what 20 years in fact. Is that 20 years? Is it 30 years? 30 years, man. Bloody I'm old. I didn't realise how old I am. 30 years and then 30 years later having all this. That's why I've got the mustache, to be fair. I don't do it because it's November. Well, that certainly helps. It's obviously to honour my dad because he had a belting mustache back in there. Unfortunately, took his own life in 2019, just before my first ever title fight. He didn't know about the title fight, mind. He wasn't that selfish. He's just, he unfortunately took his own life. And the next day is when I got a text from him and say the board of sanctions to fight for the Midlands area title. And I'd said, take the fight. Obviously, he didn't know what had happened, or he wouldn't have messaged me, no doubt. But fortunately, he did, because if that fight never happened, I don't think I'd be where I am today.
I guess that's a testament to you coming through. Like obviously the fight you want is the Stoke fight. I mean, it's a stadium fight for anyone is the dream. Chris Eubank Jr. was a name that was mentioned around that for you. Is that still a possibility? Do you think?
I really don't think so. Like, I mean, I'd love nothing more than that, but I'm the only boxer that probably ever thinks about Frank's profit margin, like, or George's profit margin. Every other fight thinks, give me as much money as possible. I ain't like that. I think, right, okay, so the gate on the event's going to turn over so much, blah, blah, blah. What's Eubank's price tag going to be? 10 million? It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Now, he's also shot to bits. Unfortunately, he is shot to bits. Like, he's been in the game a long time. His last performance highlighted the year shot to bits. And he ain't stepping that ring for any less than 10 million. And that ain't happening. So it doesn't, but it doesn't need to be Chris Eubank. I've said this in an interview, just it could be a bin man and 15,000 people from Stoke turn up. But it's never going to be a bin man. It's going to be someone good. To be someone good, we're going to do 20,000 plus. So it just, I won't bother do it is, mate. Like, I accepted to fight Carlos Adamez in June the 8th, 2024. That was just before my first ever British title defence with Brad Pauls. But that draw messed everything up. Very close competitive fight, but it wanted to draw, regardless of what anyone says. So that messed everything up. But I was willing to fight Carlos Adamez for the WBC World title. So I'm willing to fight anyone. And whoever it is, I don't care as long as we can get there.
Yeah. Is that a genuine possibility thing? You're gonna have to get on to Frank and I guess get the win in January, but you're gonna have to pester him a little bit to get it done.
But I don't really know. Like, I've just got to win. If I win, I'm top 15 in the world again. And really, Stoke should be, it should be Stoke that are knocking Frank's door down to get the event on, not vice versa. But put a good show on. There's 3,000 Stokies going up, or maybe even more than 3,000 Stokies going up to Court Live. The atmosphere's going to be incredible. I've got to put on a great performance, do what I need to do, and then put the pressure on Stoke because they're the ones that need to accept it more than anything, really.
Couple ones I want to get your opinions on. Obviously, in your division, Yanni Beck just failed a drug test. When you see a WBC world champion failing for that, and obviously you yourself been in there with a guy who has failed after the fact, how do you look at that all? And I guess the dangers of being a fighter in with a guy who has failed tests.
All it does is confirm to me what I've always thought. They're all juiced to the gills. Like, people might say to me, "Oh, Heaney, he's rubbish. Oh, he can't punch." Well, but maybe I'm just not juiced up. If I was juiced up, I might be world level. Now, listen, am I saying all of them at world level on the juice? No, but he's a former Olympic champion, a world champion, and he's juiced to the gills, man. Now, if that geezer's juice to the gills, everyone else is most likely juice to the gills that are around him as well to be even competitive with him. So yeah, it's disappointing. But listen, it is what it is.
Yeah, obviously at the end of December we got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua coming up. I mean, seeing a former, I guess what was a YouTuber taking on a former world champion, how do you see that going?
I see that if it's not knocked out within the first minute of the fight, it's a complete and utter joke. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, he's going to pull the numbers in. He's going to get a great payday. But if Anthony Joshua allows him, I mean, I boxed in my was it my third fight? I think it's my third or fourth or fifth fight, something like that. And I remember having this opponent, and they couldn't get any other opponents. And I remember thinking to myself, if he comes out for the second round, I'm done. Like this is like in terms of I needed to get him out there. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was dead nervous because of this reason. But I knew if he steps out for that second round, I'm no good. Fortunately, I knocked him out in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, so it wasn't as disastrous. But that's exactly what I should have done for the level of that opponent. But Joshua should be absolute. The guy should be knocked out within 1 minute, less than that, to be honest. And any more than that, it's an utter failure from a boxing perspective. Not from a personal perspective. He's going to be absolutely more money than I could ever even dream in 100 lifetimes. But yeah,
Yeah, obviously, going back onto the Eubank thing, we saw that video he posted in the hospital. I guess as a fighter, a bit of a strange one. We don't really there wasn't much context around it. What did you make of that as I guess a fighter seeing that? What kind of points are you trying to prove?
I don't know. Was the video? Because I couldn't work out. Was that video pre-fight or was it post-fight? What was it? What was it?
I
Do you
don't
know?
I don't think we know. Not much context.
Well, there you go. But again, the whole idea is there's a narrative. They're very, very good at what they do. There's a narrative that I was in hospital. Listen, it's fine. Unfortunately, he's just been in the game for that long. He's fought at a very good level, and eventually the candle burns out, and his candle's burnt out. Now, can he still make big paydays? Absolutely. He's got a massive name. That's why they were there in the first place. Now, Eubank is actually an half decent fighter. Like, he's very tough. I've never really rated his boxing ability that much, but he's got to be good. He used to spar with Carl Froch now back in the day. He wouldn't be sparring with Carl Froch and being in certain fights if he wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Final one from me. Jerome Orbiton, January in Manchester, Magnificent Seven. What happens?
I win. That's a sport thing. I win. We make a massive event with my Stokies on the zone, our first time on the platform. Show everyone what we're all about. Get back in the top 15 in the world and just put the pressure on Stoke. And hopefully the dream comes true. But let's see what happens.
Nathan, thank you for your time, mate. Great speaking to you.